How's everyone doing? It's Mark Sams here, and today we've got a really special show for you. I'm with my good friend and business partner, Malachi Kelly.
How you doing, Facebook?
Yes. And today we're going to be talking about, all sorts of things. We're going to be talking about our journey so far. Like, we've got a really, I believe it's an interesting story of how we met over 10 years ago and how we've come to be working together right now. So we're going to be sharing some information about that. Like, if you're coming in, and you're watching the Facebook Live, make sure you give us a like. Like, it takes less than a calorie. Just press on the like button. Like, let us know that you're there. Comment in the comment section. Let us know that you're there. Do you know what I mean? All right. So, as I say, people here that know me, they know what's going on. They know what I'm about. Yeah. So they've seen some of my stuff already. But what we're doing today is really, I'm going to introduce you to Malachi, what he's about and stuff like that, and we're going to talk about some of our story that I haven't really spoke about before. I've talked about different things in regards to mindset and business, but I haven't really spoke about the story. So let's start with Malachi. Basically, just tell the people like what you currently do, like what some of the things that you're doing, also what sort of clients that you're working with, like bring it on a very sort of chunked up level for people so that they can sort of just get the concepts.
Okay, no worries. So in a chunked up form, as you'd say, I help people understand how to turn visitors into sales, and I've done it now over the last 15 years for large companies and in-house companies alike, managing budgets from as low as £10 all the way up to £500,000 a month. And that's where my core skills lie. Is just
£500,000 a month.
How to get those visitors to turn into sales and conversions.
So, just to give you a bit about me, like I don't really speak about this, but like I started out. What I was doing is I was running a software company. I started about 4 years ago. Started from scratch. It was an idea. I was actually signing on at the time, and we had this idea, and we just basically started building up this business. We ran it for about 4 years.
What did your business do?
The business was a software company. It was called Ninja Outreach,
okay.
And it was a influencer marketing tool. So it basically helped people that had businesses connect with other business owners who had influence and authority in their space, and allowed them to tap into, other people's audience so that they can get more exposure and traffic and stuff like that. Okay. So the tool would basically, it was like a CRM, but also a tool that went out and found people and got data points and stuff like that. And it helped people basically connect with and collaborate with people that had a really good audience so they could tap into it. So that was the tool, it was Ninja Outreach. It done really well. We ended up having clients like Disney Resorts, Staples, one of the credit cards, I can't remember which one it was, goldmoney.com. So some big companies were using us, and we literally we done an acquisition deal in March just gone. I'm not going to go into numbers, but that's what we did in March just gone, March 2018. So back to you, Malachi. So obviously you help people with their advertising, you help people with their marketing, yeah, like paid advertising, paid. So it's like we're two sides of the coin. Malachi deals with paid. I deal with more organic, free traffic, working with collaborations with people, joint ventures, and that type of stuff. So these two sides of the coins is, if you've got it all together, you've got what you need to consistently grow a business. Okay, so how did you get started? Like, did you just wake up one day and you was like this advertising genius? Obviously not.
No,
like,
no.
What?
Because I mean, in the beginning, that old saying where you were in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to be coming along as the internet started to become more adoption on the internet.
Okay.
It was the early days of Google. Google wasn't really doing the kind of numbers that they're doing today, or searches. It was more directories. Very hard to find stuff. So I was working for a company called Seek.net, and it was a publishing company, and they sold a book called The Internet Shopper's Guide to. It was like a series of books: Internet Shopper's Guide to Christmas, Internet Shopper's Guide to Parents, Internet Shopper's Guide to Going Green. Stuff like
it's kind of like Which.
A little bit like Which.
Yeah.
But obviously they had their own independent booklet
Yeah.
that would sit in front of the tills at WH Smith's.
Uh-huh.
There's really good numbers of these books. And now the idea was that because the internet wasn't what it is today, it was very difficult to find stuff. There was a lot of directories that led to other directories, and it was difficult to find stuff. So my job was to phone up these clients or customers, trying to find out if they'd like to advertise in the book. Because in essence, say for example you was a parent and you needed to buy nappies, there would be a nappy section in the book, and every time that you wanted to buy nappies, you'd go over to your computer and then you would open the book and look under the nappy section and find that particular company, and then go to their website and buy their nappies.
Okay.
So that was the premise of the book. Sounds crazy now,
Yeah.
but back then, that was what they were looking
Now
for.
you just go on Amazon.
Yeah, now you just go on Amazon.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
Okay.
mean, and then what started to happen was that, print advertising started to die off because of the Googles and the Facebooks started to draw advertiser money away from old traditional mediums like print and onto digital, where it was a lot easier to track.
And TV and stuff like that.
And TV, where
Yeah.
it was TV was crazy. You put out a TV ad, it could cost you millions, and there's no way that you can track
Oh, no,
how
yeah,
many visitors are
data,
coming,
yeah.
how many conversions you're making from that money you've spent from a TV advert. So I started to look for work in selling PPC advertising or pay-per-click advertising.
Okay.
So people used what the company used to do is they obviously, because they've got professionals, Google AdWords professional people looking after those campaigns, they can perform better than if you were looking after it for yourself.
So let me break this down for people just so that they understand. Like, how you doing, Marlon? What's happening?
Hi, Marlon.
Fellow entrepreneur. This guy's making things happen. So let me break it down for people. So what Malakai's talking about is like paid advertising. It's basically where you go. He's like, Harris. Yeah, what's happening, Harris? So it's basically where you go on like a platform like Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, yeah? And these platforms already have a ton of traffic, and it's the way that you can target their traffic, and you pay them every time you get an action,
Sometimes the action, sometimes it can be click,
a click or
it can be
impression or something of that nature, yeah? So yeah, carry on. So basically, you wanted to go and look for a company that you could work at. Was it you actually doing the ads for them, or was you selling them?
I was selling. I was selling over the phone.
Yeah.
So what we'd have to do would be we'd look at the ads that were on Google.
Yeah.
And then we'd be able to see potentially if their ads weren't performing well.
Yeah.
If you then look through and see what page that they landed on,
Uh-huh.
there may be something they're doing fundamentally wrong with their landing page.
Yeah.
And then we would give that person up a call and say, potentially we could do a better job managing that campaign for them.
And where was that?
That was a company called Broadplace, and that's where I met you.
So Broadplace, basically, that's where me and Malachi met. Like, we met there, how long ago? It must have been like 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago, yeah. And I remember, like, we went out to lunch once, and, like, we were sitting down, and we were just chatting. And I'd been doing some different stuff. Yes, brother, nice to see you as well. Nice to see you as well, Marlon. I've been doing some different stuff in relation to just trying to work out how this whole online thing was working. This is 10 years ago I'm talking about. And I'm trying to work out how this whole online thing's working. I'm talking like I put some sites up, and I was trying to work out how do I generate visitors to the site? How do I make people buy things and stuff like that? And I'm buying courses, and I'm going to events, and I'm trying to work this thing out. And I wasn't doing too well at all. Like, obviously I still had to work and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't doing amazing, but I thought, let me get into an industry where I can learn more about what's going on in that space and stuff like that. And I was working at a company called Read Business Informations. They were a print and online. They published magazines.
Okay.
And they allowed you to do like, and we were selling like recruitment advertising. So like so for example, Computer Weekly was one of their, I think it was Computer Weekly, or Computer something, but was one of their publications, and we'd go out to companies that are hiring IT specialists and database managers and all those types of things, and we try to get them to advertise their recruitment roles on there. So, and I remember like my friend, I think, who was working at Broadplace, told me about the job that you was doing, And I thought that sounds like a bit of me, like
Yeah,
working
yeah.
with Google stuff like that. I remember I went to the interview. I think on the same day I was walking back, and they called me and said, "Yeah, you've got the job." And I started the next week, and it was there for a little while, right?
Yeah, I mean, I came in the following day that you got the job, and
Yeah.
obviously the guy that introduced you,
Yeah.
he subsequently got the sack before you started,
That's crazy.
which is crazy.
That's crazy.
So I came in, and there's a new guy
Yeah.
sitting in the guy's seat that was there yesterday who got sacked. I was like, what happened there? But, we got to know each other, and
Yeah.
I started to see that you was doing your stuff. You said site build it.
Yes.
And you was building that site. And I
Was
was like,
it
but
ugly
like
site?
I
Was
had,
it-
I was
was it
ugly.
ugly site? Was it
It was
ugly site?
I had this site, it was some casino stuff, a
Yeah.
little bit AdSense, but it wasn't great. It wasn't the sites weren't great.
No, there were some ugly sites back then, man. Like we didn't have no clue, but we were just out there trying. And I think that's one of the key things is that loads of people talk about like wanting to start their own business.
Yes.
And wanting to do different things, yeah. But it's like they're just talking. Like they're not out there cutting their teeth on what it takes to make things happen. They're not scared to make mistakes. They're too scared to make mistakes and stuff like that. As I said, the site was ugly. I remember sometimes people would say to me, "Have you got a site?" And I'd show it to them, and I could see in their face. I could see in their face they were like, "What's this? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is this?" I remember I used to see stuff like that. But like, so from Broad Place now, like, oh wow, this is where, like, so we both sort of moved on from Broad Place, right?
Yes.
So
I mean, I went on.
did I start with a deal before you started the Pi Gaming? No, you were still at Broad Place,
I'm
wasn't
still, we started to do the SEO Genie right at the beginning.
So should we talk about that?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah. All right. So, truth be told, I got sacked from Broad Place. They said I wasn't a good enough salesperson.
I don't know where they got that from, but hey.
They said I wasn't a good enough salesperson. Like, so I got sacked from Broad Place. I brought them in a ton of money over the year, but I got sacked from Broad Place. And we done it. How did we done it? Amicably. Like,
Yeah,
it was like,
amicable,
I
yeah.
decided to leave.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
basically, I was getting pushed out. And I remember I was sitting down with one of my friends. His name's Gerpel, and he's a programmer. And we basically were still talking, and we decided that why are we relying on these companies when we could do this stuff ourselves? Like, I can sell. Gerpel's got the technical side of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can work this out. We can do this. So we got a list. I won't talk about where we got the list from, but we got a list, and basically we started reaching out to these people on this list. And within the first day or so, we started getting sales. We started getting sales, and it was like, whoa! And we put a site up, innit?
You
We
went
put a site up.
yeah.
We registered as a proper business. I couldn't believe it. Like we don't went official. It was like a proper business, and we put this site up, and the site was called The SEO Genie. And we were selling search engine optimization services, web design, development, anything you needed that was web-based, we offered it, yeah. And we started reaching out to people, we started getting sales. And the crazy thing is, yeah, as it started getting more busy, me and Gerpel, we wasn't working, was we?
No.
So we was able to put all of our time into it. And you was working, we just
I was
still at Broad
still at
Place. And you couldn't put all your time into it.
No, because obviously I had family commitments, and then my kids were young then.
This is crazy. So this is what happened. So basically, it was a thing of like, Malachi's my friend. So I was saying to him like, bruv, like, I need you to put more time in. And he's like, I'm going to try, but he's getting back from work, he's tired, and he can't necessarily put the hours that he needs to put in. So it came to a point where we just said, all right, cool, bro. Like, let's leave amicably, and we'll just do our thing, and you do your thing. Pretty much, innit?
Basically.
Yeah. And so then that kind of, like, we kept in touch, right? But like, that kind of like, we went our own ways from there. And me and Gerpel, we went on and we carried on running that business. But to be honest, it was very up and down. Like, we'd have sales here, up and down. It was a tough journey. I remember there was a point, yeah, where the mother of my child, she was actually pregnant, and she wanted, and basically I got a bit paranoid, and I thought to myself, you know what, I need to go and get a job. And I remember, do you remember this?
Yeah.
In Croydon, there's a building called the 50 Cent Building. Yeah, the 50 pence building. And I got a job at some some like email marketing company. I can't remember the name. I can't remember their name. Like on about the 8th, 9th floor. I got a job there, and I was there for a day. I was there for a day. Yeah, I was there for a day. Got the job. They loved me. Got on the phone. Started selling. Started making sales straight away. I remember the second day I got in and I sat down. You know, like when you're looking around like the office. I just thought, nah.
It's not you.
Nah, I just thought to myself, nah. I'm not supposed to be sitting here working for someone else, making someone else rich. Even though the things that me and girl were trying to do wasn't necessarily working well enough for me to pay my bills.
Yeah.
I just thought, nah, I can't do this. I've got to stay focused, yeah. And I remember at lunchtime, I called the mother of my child, my girlfriend, yeah, at the time. I called her and I said to her, like, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Like, I need to focus on what I'm doing. And the surprising thing is you'd think that she'd be like, no, stay where you are, get on with the work, so on and so forth. But she said, I trust you, like, do your thing, yeah. And I pretty much left that company that day. I walked out.
Yeah, it was one day. You told me, from me.
There for the one day.
Nah, I'm leaving and going. That's it, I'm done.
The crazy thing is the week after, I met this guy named Adil. And as I said, we were working on some different stuff. Like in the background, we had some like softwares that we were working on. And we sat down with Adil. And Adil's a super affiliate. And we sat down with him and we showed him some of the stuff that we were doing. And he liked it. And then we went away and then he called us up and we ended up going up there. And there's a picture on Facebook. And we ended up like working with him. And we did this whole project with him where we created this software platform. And we sold it online and we done big money. Like literally we done life-changing money. Like it was like, I don't want to talk numbers, but it was over 6 figures we done. Like we took away in our pocket, yeah. But the problem with that was that we was running that for a couple of years. Do you remember when I first called you at night when we
the first night
we did
my days.
We did 100K on one of the first nights. It was crazy. And I remember that like after experiencing that, like it blew my mind and I was going out, clubbing it, champagne in it, like I was just going crazy. And I thought to myself, all right, this is going to last forever sort of thing. And the market changed. Like basically, the tool that we created relied on other platforms. It relied on platforms like YouTube, relied on data from other platforms. And basically, it infringed on some of the terms and conditions of mainly YouTube. Because what it did is it worked out when a video was going to trend and do really well, and there was a whole thing. I'm not going to go into it right now, but basically we went bust. Like the whole thing went wrong, and we pretty much lost all the money. Like we had a shopping cart, and they had over 500,000 in the shopping cart, and they froze the account. We couldn't access the account, and they wouldn't let us access that at all. So we lost all of that money, and basically we went from having nothing to having something and being like, whoa, we've made it, to losing it all. And I was a bit depressed.
But from the ashes, sometimes, you know, you can revive stuff that you've already done in the past. It's like a quote that I heard a while ago. Like you have to be in business to be in business. And when I first heard it, I was like, that doesn't really make much sense. Like, how do you, but then basically what he was saying was that, you know, he was selling this widget.
Yeah.
And it was selling okay.
Yeah.
And then somebody else came in and sold the same widget as him.
Yeah.
Undercutting the price.
Yeah.
And then so he had to look about somewhere else to find something else that he could sell in his space that would keep him in business. He eventually found something else. Eventually somebody else started selling the same thing, and it was a never-ending cycle of looking for new products and services that he could sell in his business for his particular audience, and still be competitive and have a margin.
Yeah.
But then eventually he found this thing that was a game changer. And that's what the quote means, that you have to be in business to be in business, because he never would have found that game changer if he didn't start in the beginning.
That makes a lot of sense. You know why that makes a lot of sense? Because I don't want to say that I wouldn't have started Ninja Outreach without going through what I went through. But I don't know if I could have went through what I went through with Ninja Outreach if I hadn't had the experience of winning before.
Yes. So
what I mean by that is that when we started Ninja, like we came up with the idea and we decided that we're bringing this software platform out there, yeah. And it was 18 months before we paid ourselves.
Hi, Vicky.
Hey Vicky, how you doing? Hey Ian, how you doing? So it was 18 months. Like, the guys, if you're here, just like give us a like, give us some engagement. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're enjoying the content that we're bringing there. Yeah. So it was like 18 months before we was able to pay ourselves. And I remember that like the situation was that it started off me, Gerpel, and another business partner. His name's Dave, who is actually from America. And it ended up being just me and Dave. So Gerpel actually left about maybe 8 months in.
I was the first lever.
Yeah, he left first. But this was before we even did Ninja Outreach.
It was
But yeah, Gerpel left about 8 months in. He was like, bro, I can't take this no more. Like, we're not making no money. Like, money that we are making, we can't even spend it because we're putting it into the business. Like, he's saying my wife is going mad at me. Like, I need to do something.
Yeah.
And he went off and he got a contract role, and we ended up buying him out of the business. But like, you're right. If we wasn't, I do believe that if I didn't do what I did before we were Dill and Gerpel, and I saw the amount of money that we made, the mindset to stay in this for how long we did wouldn't have happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would have been that resilient, and I think I potentially would have maybe bounced out earlier and went and got a job or something like that. Because so many people say to me, go and get a job.
Yeah.
So that's me. Like, I've gone a bit further on now, yeah? So let's rewind and let's go back to Broad Place. You started with us. We parted ways. What did you do from there on?
So I spoke to Rohit at the time, the boss at Broad Place, and I wanted to move more into the technical side of learning how to run the ads myself,
Okay.
rather than doing the sales part.
Okay.
So I asked him if he had any roles potentially in that section of the business where I could start managing some small clients at first, and grow my skill set and become Google AdWords professional and get qualified and all that stuff. But I got shut down. He just said no.
Seriously?
Where the guy is from India,
Yeah.
and he's got an Indian office,
Yeah.
and he has technical people out in India.
Yeah.
And obviously, he pays his Indian staff a lot less money than he does the UK staff.
Okay.
So he had a UK arm that was client facing, so clients could speak to the UK side, but all of the technical stuff, or most of the technical stuff, was handled in India. So where he was expanding his particular business and his business model was to have staff in India, which makes sense because your biggest cost when you're running a business is your staffing cost.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you can reduce your staffing costs, then you don't have to drive as much revenue to make as much profit.
Of course, yeah.
So it makes sense now that I understand business. But at the time, it was a shock. It was like I just got shut down.
Yeah. It's like, I want to develop. Let me develop, man. Gosh.
So then, doesn't I have to think hard and have to think about where my skills lie? I mean, we were running our own sites. We had a few sites.
Yeah.
I had a few squeeze pages up where I was sending Google AdWords traffic. A lot of it was Indian traffic, and it was really cheap.
Yeah.
And I was getting some conversions. And I think it was like something like £2 a lead or something along those lines.
Was that Frank thing that you did where you was that before you went to Party Gaming where you was, remember it was like a CPA for like an iPhone, you were sending traffic to it? Was this before you went to Party Gaming?
Before I went to Party Gaming.
You was making some alright money from that.
Making alright money.
You was making some
I
alright
think
money
one Christmas, I think I made $2,000 just before Christmas Day, which was really good because it helped me buy all my Christmas presents. Just from a CPA offer.
Yeah.
Sending traffic from A to B. But I had an understanding of how to run campaigns, how to set them up, but I wasn't the developed or the finished article at that point. But I thought I could go to an interview and potentially get a job. You know, kind of like hustle my way in.
Yeah.
I know enough to get through the door.
Yeah.
I've been doing sales for 2-3 years now on selling the product. I know about all the objections.
Okay.
I know how to look at a campaign and see if it's performing or not, and what we can do to it to make it perform. So I took that information into an interview at Party Gaming, which is one of the biggest casino and poker sites.
Wait there, people.
in the UK.
Party Gaming, you know. So this guy's coming from not you've never done this before, and you went and went for an interview. Yeah, at Party Gaming.
So the night before.
What do you think gave you that edge to actually get the job? Because did they know that you'd never done it around a campaign?
No, they didn't know.
So you hustled it
a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
So I mean, I had to put in. It's about putting in the homework. So the night before, I was looking at their campaign the same way I would do for any
I
type of
remember.
so any type of client that we would have.
Yeah, you was telling
through,
me.
Look through their ads, look where they appear, type in words you expect them to appear on, and if they're not appearing there, you can ask them why they're not appearing there, because they're supposed to be appearing there. And if there's somebody running their campaign at the moment, what are they doing? And that's what I would say if I was trying to sell them into Broadplace's service, but now I was selling myself.
Yes.
So, you know, it's all about that research, looking into how their campaign was what looked on the outside, and bring that information to the interview. And when I got to the interview, I blew them away with the information that I knew, the information I knew about the campaign, the information, the keywords I knew they weren't bidding on, and they said, okay, this person is the right person for the job because I know what to implement. But it was a catch-22 because I didn't know the kind of budgets that they were spending before I got the job. The first day on the job, I realised that it was just going to be me and another guy managing the PPC campaigns, and we were spending £300,000 a month on poker advertising and £200,000 a month on casino advertising.
Oh my gosh, let me break this down to you, okay? So, and this is a takeaway, that this is the mindset of someone that's a go-getter and an entrepreneur. Like, you know, like when you just like, you refuse to have limitations. Like, listen. So many people, when it comes to going for a job or an interview like this, would potentially not even go for it.
Yeah, none of them
because they would say to themselves, no, I'm not qualified to do that, because you wasn't qualified.
No.
You wasn't qualified to go and do that. I don't have the knowledge. They're going to laugh me out of the room. Yeah. So first of all, you overcome that. You overcome that thing. And you said, I'm going for this interview. Second of all, you didn't just go for the interview and just look like an idiot. You went into that interview and you, beforehand, had done the research. You looked at their ads. You looked at what was going on with them, You was able to give them tips and insights. You was able to show them things they wasn't doing. And they thought, whoa, this guy's off the chain. Then after that, you're sitting down, you're there and you're like, hold on. I'm now in charge of £500,000 worth of budget on a monthly basis. And you've never done it before. Sink or swim. And did you make it work?
Made it work. I mean, it was a very profitable campaign.
Damn.
Making over 3 million on a monthly basis.
Damn. So what did you learn from that alone? Like, come on.
I learned that, one, I didn't know what I was doing. Which is quite a revelation.
Yeah.
And two, there's a lot more for me to learn.
Okay.
So then I took my...
Sorry, let me stop. So, oh my gosh. That reminds me of something that someone says, It's a level of confidence, It's a mindset to say that whatever comes my way, whatever problems I face, I believe in myself and I'm confident that I will work it out.
Yes.
That I will work through it.
That's something that's one of my...
I believe in it and I'm confident that I will work through it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you
have
saying?
to be like that.
Listen, if you believe and you're confident that you'll work through any problems that come your way, just tap on the like button. Less than half a character. Just give me a like button. Just come on. Give me some likes. People. Seriously, because this is what it takes to be an entrepreneur. You've got to face the unknown. You've got to face the impossible. And you got to go full in and make it happen. So tell me more. What did you learn about being there?
So again, I needed to learn more. I needed to understand more how paid search campaigns work. I had the building blocks. I could understand the data, but now I was getting so much data coming in that it was too much for me to process with the knowledge that I had. I had limited knowledge, so I needed to go somewhere where I could be with like-minded people and understand how this works better. So I decided to go and look for a job at an agency. Okay. Where I would be surrounded by people that just manage campaigns, and that's all they did. But I went there with a plan, because now I'd had a couple of interviews where I'd been able to position myself as an expert when I wasn't. So now I was more of an expert at what I did, and I wanted to position how much I was getting paid. Okay. Because when I went for this last job, they just asked me how much I wanted to get paid, and I said, I think it was maybe $2 or $3 grand more than what I was getting paid at the time. And they had no questions, no qualms about giving me that wage.
Yeah.
They didn't even blink an eye. They just went yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I should ask for more.
Always, that's a terrible one. Yeah.
So the next one, I said, okay, well, I think at that time I was on £22,000 a year, and I said, I really wanted to be on £32,000 a year. I was coming up to my 32nd birthday,
yeah,
and I wanted to have like £1,000 for every year of my life.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
hit that target, I needed to have 32 grand.
Yeah.
But I was on 20.
Big dreams.
No, I know, big dreams. So I was like, okay, I mean, I'm in a good place at the moment.
Yeah.
So if they say no to me at this job, and I say I want 32 grand, then I can just keep looking until someone says yes. Somebody eventually will say yes.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I can lower it at some point.
Oh.
But initially, let's go with, I'm going for this particular type of money.
Okay.
I did the same kind of preparation that I did for the last job at Party Gaming, but this time it was for one of the largest advertising agencies in the UK called Jellyfish.
Okay.
And we went through the interview with Jellyfish with the CEO of Paid Search now, and his name is Daniel, and he did something unique in his interview where he had something called the metrics tree, which is the diagram of how Paid Search works.
Okay.
And he kind of started drawing it on the whiteboard, but he left some bits out.
Okay.
Now, I've never seen this metrics tree before, and basically he wanted me to say which bits go where. And I'd never seen this diagram, don't know what this diagram is.
Yeah.
And from the way that it had been drawn, I was able to kind of work out the bits.
Okay.
And because I was able to work it out, I got the job.
Perfect.
And then obviously it got to the question, how much money do you want?
Yeah.
And I said 32,000.
Yeah.
And they said, that shouldn't be a problem.
You thought again.
I should have asked for more.
So did you even research like what people were getting paid at jobs like that?
No.
So you make mistakes sometimes as well, and that's something. Research roles, research what it is that you're doing, and what people get paid for certain things and stuff like that. But that's cool. That's cool. It's cool. So continue on. Like obviously Jellyfish, you learned a ton of things there.
So because I was coming from that casino background, where working with party poker and online gambling companies, I was the go-to person for gambling clients. So now subsequently I worked with Gala Bingo, I worked with Gameses, which is the one with Jackpot Joy.
Okay. I think I've seen them on TV.
Mr. Green.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely seen that on TV.
Yeah, so there's lots of different casinos, but then I also worked with companies called Love Carpets that sold carpets,
Okay.
and all the way up to companies like Experian that do the credit report. So it was a wide range of different companies, and understanding how that traffic works and how to drive traffic.
You say you worked with Experian? You say you worked with Experian?
Yes, Experian.
Ah. I think I need to cancel my Experian account. I think I have an account with Experian. I need to cancel that. I need to go and check that out after this actually. Okay, so yeah. So you was running lots of different campaigns for different people and stuff like that. So, and what did you learn from running campaigns in lots of different industry verticals? Like, what was the biggest takeaway you got from all of that?
I think the main takeaway from all of that is understanding how each market works and the nuances in each market, as well as the similarities.
Okay.
So that you can then use what you've learned in certain niches to then launch with the best practice, the best wording, the best copy when you're going into a new niche.
Yeah.
To know exactly what to say,
Yeah.
or what images to use to bring the right customers to your product or service, depending on what you're selling.
Cool. So, do you want to talk about how it ended at Jellyfish?
I mean, it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like, again, I was building somebody else's business, the same way you felt when you went for that one day job. You know, I was doing well at the job, and you know, I was going to Google and being the head of DoubleClick for the business. It was good, but I felt like it wasn't what I was meant to do. It wasn't my purpose. I felt like there was something additional that I could do and bring to the table, other than helping somebody else run their business.
Yeah.
I wanted to be my own boss, run my own business, and work my own schedule and work for myself. So that kind of drove me on to look for other stuff.
Anyway, throughout all of this time, you was always doing things on the side, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like you're always doing things on the side.
Yes.
Like with me, you used to chat about different things all the time. Like you was having squeeze pages up. He was creating little different products. Like I swear we did one and it made like a few grand and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
and
remember when we had
and then
like a-
stopped off and then we started doing something and left it. Like there's so many different little things
So many little things.
that-
We had I did a little thing with the Twitter trick, where you used to do
Matt Duggan.
Twitter,
How you doing, Matt?
and it was a way of building up your Twitter following when it first started.
Yeah.
And it was just a blueprint of how to get your Twitter following up.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still have 10,000 Twitter followers, but
Yeah.
I never use Twitter anymore.
Oh, you created that Twitter
trick.
blueprint or
Yeah,
something,
Twitter
didn't it?
blueprint.
And you were selling that,
Selling
right?
that for like £7 for. And I think I sold like maybe 1,000 copies of that particular product.
That's crazy.
But yeah, there was all little things that I did on the side to help me understand how to drive traffic and market online.
Yeah. So you was doing all these different things while you were working
While I
as
was
well.
working as well.
While you was working. So all of this gave you different experiences and different learnings and stuff like that. Like, because I swear, because you was doing all those different things, that's why you was always like the best in your company, because most people there, I remember you used to say to me like, it was like you was the go-to person in your company, because when it came to running campaigns and like AdWords campaigns and different paid advertising campaigns, when you was thinking about the campaigns, you was thinking out of the box. Like
Yes.
you was changing ad copy and coming in and split testing ad copy and doing different things to get that additional click-through rate and running campaigns. You were getting campaigns thrown at you that were performing poorly, and you was turning them around. It's like you were the turnaround kid.
Yes.
And you was taking campaigns, you was making them do better. And I remember that, and I used to always think to myself, they don't even value what they have there, because you was the guy they came to. If they gave it to somebody else, it was giving some, because you was thinking out of the box, because you had to think out of the box with some of the different things you were doing already.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So talk to me about how that sort of came to an end. Like what was how did that end, and then what was the big next transition? Because to me, the next transition, that was huge.
So for me, it was again, I was in that search for something new, something new. I knew I'd done agency for a while. And I've got the experience. I knew that I was the go-to person for paid advertising within the company. So I knew that I had the skills now to go out and command what I wanted. And I didn't want to work for an agency. I wanted to bring this skill that I had in regards to driving paid traffic through different likes of Facebook and YouTube and AdWords to an in-house company, a startup company, a little bit like entrepreneurial, more like-minded, like I was, where my head was at the time.
Yeah.
And I found a small company that were a comparison company, a bit like Compare the Market,
Okay.
but for casino.
Okay.
So they were very intrigued in my casino background, obviously managing Party Poker, managing Gala Bingo, and they had similar brands, similar platforms, but they were just for comparison. So I went on to start managing their campaign there and got a job just managing the paid campaign. But we were...
Can you talk about how much you got? The big, or how much? It was double then. Can we just say double?
Yes.
So we're talking double. If you've been listening, if you listen back, he's getting double what he was getting paid before. And why do you think that was? Like, what? First of all, what made you feel that you could go in? Because you've been working at Jellyfish for 4 years.
Yes.
So you was experienced by then.
Yes.
So by then you was doing the research on what somebody of your level was getting paid, right?
Yes.
So you obviously went in and you gave them a number.
Yes.
And they said yes.
Actually, this was the first time that someone said no to the number.
Oh, they said no.
Yes, the number was too high.
Okay.
This time. I was like, okay, I did it right.
Okay. You know what I mean?
And then we negotiated down to the number that I was happy with
Everybody
anyway.
was, yeah.
But I went in higher. So go in way high so you can get the no, and then work your way down.
Okay.
And you get them at the peak end of what you can get paid.
Going way high.
Don't be frightened to go way high.
Way high.
If you're still
If
working
you're good
for a
enough,
living,
yeah.
go way high.
Yeah, for real.
And then work down to that point where you're both happy with.
So what's so good about this place?
Because they were all entrepreneurial. It wasn't as corporate as the agency. Every day was a different day. You could go in and create. You could go in and do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
As long as you were building revenue for the business, it didn't matter what you did.
Ah, okay. So it was like, it was more of that startup vibe. Like, that's where you worked at a co-working space at one point, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so like it was a very like playing table tennis and all that type of stuff. Okay, cool. So that's good. That's good. And throughout all this time, it's weird. It's like we both had parallel lives, and you was doing your thing, you were growing your skill set. I was doing my thing, I was growing my skill sets, stuff like that. But from Broad Place, I'd gone off on my own, and that was it. I was like, from there, I'd gone off on my own and stuff like that. But the skill set that you've sort of grown from doing what you do, like you can go anywhere with that now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like literally anywhere.
I mean, my skill set is great,
Yeah.
and it's great for getting traffic on demand.
Yeah.
To just launch a campaign from the beginning,
Mm.
and then see traffic and see it convert.
Yeah.
But the skill that you've learned and the ability to build content. I remember you've been telling me to do content for ages.
Yeah, of course.
Do your content. Make sure you do your content, because
Yes.
that's retention, long term. Tell them more about how you built this Ninja Outreach from
Scratch.
the ground up with no traffic and no spend.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. So basically, when we started off, for those of you just joining us, can you introduce the guest again? Yes. So, Matt Duggan, and for anybody else that's just joining, this is Malachi Kelly.
Hi,
He's my good friend. We've known each other for at least 10 years?
10 years.
A bit
Maybe
more,
maybe
probably a bit more.
Yeah.
We started out together. The big news is coming at the end. Big news is coming at the end, man. So we started out working at a company together, an advertising agency called Broad Place, where we were selling paid advertising to businesses and stuff like that. And we just went on from there to, like, you went off and you carried on. You did your thing, and I went off and did my thing, and we're just talking about the journey. We're just talking about some of the stuff that we've done, how we've got here, like what's going on. So for people that are just joining, that's what's going on right now. I'm talking to Malachi Kelly, who's a good friend of mine.
Dave's on.
Dave's on. Yo, big up yourself. This is my business partner from Ninja Outreach. He's just come on. How you doing, Dave? What's up?
Hi, Dave.
So my actual business partner from Ninja Outreach is on at the moment as well. He's kind of low key, but like, just give us a like, give us an engagement as well, Dave. That'll be cool. So So basically, we when we started Ninja Outreach, like, it's mad. Oh, man, how do I even start this? So as I said, I was signing on. Yeah. And I've got this idea for this tool, because I'm going online. So basically, I've done this thing with a deal. Yeah, it all crashed, lost everything. Yeah, and I've got no money. Yeah, basically,
How did that make you feel?
How'd that make me feel? Whack. Like, I'm talking, I've got a child and I've got my signing on money, and literally I could give maybe 25 quid a month. Like, bruv, you've got kids, you know that's taking the piss.
I know.
That's taking the piss.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't stay with.
I could give like 25 quid a month, yeah, but like, I knew I touched the golden goose already. I knew what can be done, so I refused to go back to working life, to working for other people and stuff like that. I refused, and I just decided that I'm gonna do this thing. So I'm online, I'm doing research, and I'm seeing a lot of people. They're talking about this stuff called blogger outreach marketing, influencer marketing, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, hold on, what they're talking about and the process that it takes to do that is very similar to this tool that we started creating 10 years ago. Yeah, no, let's say at the time that would have been 6 years ago. Yeah, like, but we stopped and then we went off and done our thing with a deal. Yeah. So I was like, cool, Gurple. I was like, Gurple, remember that at the time it was called JV Launch Kit.
JV Launch Kit.
It's called JV Launch Kit. It was called JV Launch Kit at the time, yeah. So I said, remember that tool, JV Launch Kit, yeah? Like, listen to what these people are talking about. They're talking about they're going out and they're finding bloggers and they're doing guest posting and they're going out and they're reaching out to people and they're doing these different things, yeah? Like, this tool, we could do that with that. And he's like, oh, but I don't even know what that is. Let me dig that out. And he's digging out the code, and he's like, oh, yeah, here it is. And it was proper clunky and old and horrible. Yeah. And so I said, we need to start working on that again, because this is a big thing. This is going to be big. This influencer marketing thing is going to be big. So we need to start working on that. Yeah, I've got a feeling this is going to be a big thing. So he gets to work on that. Yeah. And I'm like, how can I start getting myself out there? So I thought, let me start doing a podcast. Yeah. And I think I just went online, and I started running searches on Google, yeah, and I just started reaching out to people and saying, hey, can I interview you? And I had this website called Renegade Affiliate. I think it was called renegadeaffiliate.com.
I remember that.
Remember Renegade Affiliate, renegadeaffiliate.com. And basically I used to just go out, reach out to people and interview them. And it was crazy. I reached out to the biggest names. Like, I interviewed people like Neil Patel. I interviewed Joe Com. I interviewed Brian Dean, Ian Clary, like some big names in the space shit, guys that were like doing some big things. And I remember I was reading this blog of a guy, his name is Dave Schneider, that's my business partner, yeah, now, like my business partner, yeah. I was reading the blog and I was like, you know, like sometimes when you read a blog, you read a few lines and you stop.
Yeah.
I was reading it and I was like, wow, I finished the article, and it was a long article, and I finished it, and it was like, this guy writes really well. And I was going through some of the other stuff, I was like, he writes really well. I thought, let me reach out to him. Reached out to him, had an interview with him. We interviewed, it was a great interview, put it up, and then we just started chatting. And I was showing him about some of the stuff that we're working on. I was saying to him, like, oh, we've got this like tool that we're looking to build. And he was like, hey, that's crazy. I'm thinking about creating a tool like that, yeah? And I remember in my head, yeah, I don't even think I've ever told him this yet, but I remember in my head, I thought to myself, this guy writes amazingly, like he's wicked at content marketing. I don't want him being my competition. I don't want him being my competition. So the first thing I thought to myself is, how do we make him be a partner? How can we work together? So everything I was gearing as we was talking, it was always geared towards him becoming a partner, us working together. Anyway, conversations continued, and he was like, yeah, let's work together. We ended up working together. I believe that was like mid-2014, yeah.
Okay.
When he came in, Dave is like a genius when it comes to like systems and implementation and putting the plans into place and stuff like that, yeah. He came in and he was just like, okay, here's the next 6-month plan. Okay, we're going to do this day, that day. Here's the pre-launch program. First 3 months, we're going to do this. Then by then, we're going to be out here. And I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. Smart move making a potential competition. Yes, you don't know. You don't know, Matt. And so I was just like, whoa, this is wicked. Like, it's a really good guy. So we started doing stuff. So let's talk about how we got ourselves out there. So the first thing we started, yeah, is we went out to directories, like software directories or startup directories, okay, and we listed ourselves in these different directories, yeah. Dave started blogging. So Dave, like once a week, he just put an article out on the site and do that. And then we used to have these meetings all the time. It was like, hey, people are doing these like competitions. So what we did is we reached out to a ton of marketers out there, and we asked them basically, can you give us like some sort of prize, some sort of something, 3 months free of your platform, like access to a section of your course or something like that, yeah? And we ended up getting like $30,000 worth of free gifts and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
And we run a competition where other people could get access to these gifts and so on and so forth, yeah? And we run that competition. So I think we read an article about this, yeah, so people doing stuff like this. And I remember in the article, it was like the person that talked about it ended up getting 15,000 people on their list and so on and so forth. And we thought, whoa, we've got £30,000 worth of free gifts. We should get a few thousand people. We probably ended up with maybe 600-700 people on our list.
Okay.
We was kind of depressed. We kind of felt depressed, I'm being honest, but it was like, oh, okay. But really, we got 600-700 people on our list though. But like, we still was like, oh, well, he got 15,000. Okay, well, this is all right, I guess. You know what I mean? But like, so it was a bit like, oh, okay. But still, we got those people on the list, and they've continued to blog and stuff like that. And as the tool was being made, we started to actually use the tool. And I remember it was a Sunday late morning, and my missus was going to change some stuff at Next.
Okay.
And Dave called me on Google Hangouts, because obviously he's not in the same country as me. So he's called me on Google Hangouts, and he's like, hey Mark, I just read an article by Buffer, and they talked about how they did over 100 guest posts in a year and generated 100,000 subscribers to their platform. Yeah, this is what our tool does. Let's do something like this. You go and get the opportunities. I write the posts. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. So I remember the next day I sat down, and I had a very skeleton version of the tool, like not a tool that we was giving out to people. I remember I sat down there and I started running searches and pulling loads of people that we can do guest posting with. And then we put a template together, and I started reaching out to these people using the tool and stuff like that, yeah. And literally the next day we had like 3-4 people say, yes, you can publish with us.
Wow.
And that's one of the things that people don't get, is that when you actually just put yourself out there, the response that you get back from people will surprise you badly. Like, you'll be surprised at how people will be open to working with you if you're just prepared to put yourself out there. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we started getting yeses and getting yeses, yeah. And you'd think that, like, and basically it got to the point where I think in the first year we published just under, I can't remember the exact one, yeah, 100 guest posts.
Okay.
And that, what a guest post is where they would write an article, typically 2,000 to 3,000 words. Yeah, each article, yeah, 2,000 to 3,000 words. He was sick at writing, and so I'd find the opportunity. He'd write the articles, yeah, and it would be published from somebody else's website. And the benefit to them is that they get a really great piece of content for their audience for that week. And the benefit to us is that within the article, just as long as it's not blatantly we're spamming, we can incorporate like links back to our website, like 2 or 3, nothing over the top. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, links back to our site, so it's good from an SEO point of view, and also we get some feed over traffic from that as well. Yeah, so that's what we was doing, and we did 100 of those in a year. But we didn't stop there. We did 100 guest posts. Dave went on over 100 podcasts. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And every podcast, every time you're on a podcast, they link back to your website. We reached out to a ton of bloggers, and what did we do? We basically gave access to our tool for like 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Sometimes we gave lifetime access to the right type of blogger to review our product. Do you know what I'm saying? To review our product, and we just gave it away, like just like take 3 months, take 6 months, take whatever you want, yeah, just to get the review from them. And we got easily over 100 of those. We started doing things like expert roundups. I'm not going to talk about the ins and outs of expert roundups right now, but we was doing things like expert roundups where we basically got a ton of people to give their feedback on something, and then we started doing link building. So all of those things combined, we was just doing them day in, day out, grinding. As we got more traffic, got more sales, we didn't pay ourselves. We just built our team.
So how much traffic, say after like 6 months, after doing this action, like on a consistent basis, how much traffic was you actually getting after, say 6 months, say to a year?
So I would say about 6 months in. So we opened our shopping cart January the 15th, 2015, yeah. Okay. And I remember, because we had a bit of a pre-launch list already, we made sales on that first day. Nothing much, but we made a couple of sales. Okay. Yeah. Like we had somebody bought like $150 a month plan, and they stayed with us for like a year. Like straight, wow. It was like a big plan. It was like, whoa. Like, so, but like we had sales like straight away. And then 8 months in, we were a 6-figure year business.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 months in, we were a 6-figure year business. 9 months in, we were a 6-figure year. So we was making about $9,000 a month.
Oh. So he was making $8,000 to $9,000 a month.
Yeah.
And you wasn't spending no money on advertising.
No money on advertising.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. No paid advertising.
Some blog posting.
Not just like we were blog posting. We were blog posting. We were doing guest posting. We were doing link building. We were doing like expert roundups. We were contributing to other people's posts and stuff like that. And then people just started mentioning us. Like I think in that time, we got mentioned on Forbes. Like someone they just assumed that we were the go-to website for
one from Huffington.
Yeah, Huffington Post and stuff like that. They just assumed that we were the go-to website when it comes to influencer marketing, and they were writing their own article on Forbes, and they mentioned influencer marketing and just linked to us.
I remember when
I was just like, I was looking at Google Analytics, I was like, why are we getting traffic from Forbes? I didn't understand why I was getting traffic from Forbes, like Forbes website. I was like, that doesn't make sense. And I put a search in Forbes Ninja Outreach, and I found the article. It came up, and I was like, oh, who is this guy? I don't even know who this guy is. So that's another thing, is that, you know, like when you're putting out the work, on a consistent basis, yeah, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes of where people can end up wanting to, like, writing about you and so on and so forth, because you're putting in work and they're looking at you as like you're the experts in the space. And to us, we're just a year in. We're less than a year into the industry. Yeah. So, as I say, 8 months in, we were doing about just over $8,000 a month. Yeah, which makes us an annual runway of 6 figures, basically. Yeah, makes us we're just doing just over 100K on a yearly basis.
If someone
but we wasn't paying ourselves at that time.
I hear that, but if someone told himself that you could make 8,000 on a monthly basis, all you need to do is write content and put it out there for 8 months consistently, and you can have a 6-figure business. People still wouldn't do it. Do you know how many friends, people that like, so I used to go to these different events. Yeah, you didn't do it. And the thing is, you couldn't write good. That's what's crazy. So you know how many like friends and people, you know, like a preacher's never heard in his own backyard. Bro, I tell you, like, so I've got like a ton of like people that I've met along the way, and they've got these different startup softwares, and they're so into the product. I'm creating a product. I'm creating this feature. I'm creating this. I'm creating that. I'm like, what about the marketing? Oh, I'll get to that later. And the other sad thing is, I'd say the majority of those people, I can't actually think of anybody that is successful now. Yeah. The majority of those people either are working, doing something else. No disrespect, you're my people, but it's the truth. This is what it is, or doing something else, and it's like, you've got to understand that, like, you can have a mediocre product with good marketing, and you will win over having an amazing product and really bad marketing. Do you know what I mean? The marketing is key. Like, you've got to be able to get yourself out there consistently, whether you're doing paid, whether you're doing free, whether you're doing a combination of both. You've got to get yourself out there. You've got to work out, how can I connect with my audience? Where is my audience, and how can I put my offer in front of them consistently over and over again? Do you know what I mean? Over and over again. How can I pull it? Billboard syndrome. You see it.
Yes.
And you want it.
Yes.
And you see it on TV.
And you just pick it up on the shelf and you don't even think about it. That's what they do. It's like, you know how advertising works. It's like they hit you up so many different angles that you instantly go for people's brands without even thinking about it. Exactly. Like, it's just what it is. So that's what we was doing.
So, we've done like an introduction of myself and who I am and what I'm about. And obviously, as you can see, I'm the paid specialist side of this new big news. Yeah. And then we've got Mark here, who's obviously the free side of the traffic generation part.
Organic, let's call it organic, because it's nice you free all your time.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. Yeah. So we have the organic and we have the paid. So together, combined, we have the building blocks to generate huge amounts of traffic. Yeah. Whether you want it instantly or you want to wait over time and build that audience consistently. Yeah. And that is really the big news. The big news that we are, in essence, coming together and channeling our. We should keep it secret a bit. Give them something to look forward to a little bit later. Okay. But what we need to do today is that we're bringing it together.
So we can't tell them the name yet.
No, it's secret.
No name yet. Okay, but you guys know that this is like the Making Your Mark show, yeah? So the Making Your Mark show is now going to be AKA something else. And that's going to get revealed as time goes, yeah? As time goes. We're going to be basically documenting this journey, because what we're doing, we're going to download all of your knowledge into paid advertising, some of the stuff that we're doing, and we're actually going to be using it and doing real case studies. All of my knowledge into like organic influencer marketing, outreach and stuff like that. And we're going to basically be creating free content for you guys to consume and get good insight from. We're also going to be creating some paid content, some stuff that we're going to be doing, some live events and so on and so forth. We're going to be doing webinars. We're going to be doing a ton of stuff that we're going to be doing, and we're going to be teaching. So the big news is that there's a new partnership formed, a new business partnership formed, and the name is coming very soon. Other than the name. That's other than the name, but okay, cool. So yeah, that's that. That's what it is for now. That's what it is for now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We've been, damn,
Hour.
it's an hour.
Yeah, we're here.
This is like the longest live I've ever done, man. So yeah, that's an hour in. Some ins and outs of what it took us to get here. Like 10 years.
10 years.
Do you have what it takes to be in this for 10 years
10
to make
years.
it work?
10 years
Huh?
in the making.
Huh? Before we go, no, furthermore, yeah. No, before we go, seriously, because we're at a certain level now. So it's like, you were just at the BMW showroom, just getting a new car. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm getting a new car. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and it's not about the things, yeah, but like, I'm talking, I started from broke. Like, I'm talking, I was signing on, I was on a mattress in my friend's house, yeah, and marketing mavens bringing the magic. You done know, man. You done know. So I was like, and we're at where we are. Like, and this is the realness. Like, this is not like no disrespect to corporate, but this is we. You know what I'm saying? We're from the street.
Yeah,
This is like we're just like the real deal. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yeah. Like, what is it like for you now? Like, knowing that you don't have to go into an office, do you know what I'm saying? That you've got control of your schedule, how you work. Like, if your kids have got things going, like, talk to me. What does that feel like?
I mean, it's an amazing feeling, you know, being able to work for yourself and be your own boss, control your own schedule. I mean, the other day I had a wasp nest.
Yeah.
In my house, and my son had been stung 3 times, and we couldn't work out why he was getting stung so much. And we eventually saw this little hole on the roof, and every second you see a wasp right across the garden. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I had to get the pest control in. But normally,
Yeah.
if I was working a day job, I'd have to take my day off, work, take it off as holiday, and the pest control guy was only there for like 5 minutes, if that. Sprayed the thing, and he left. But you know, being working from home, the ability to be there, just let him in the house. He had to do what he had to do. He was there for 10-15 minutes. Everything was okay. I signed a bit of paper and he had to leave. Then I carried on my work. It's just the freedom, the ability to be able to just let it happen.
Yeah, man, freedom is powerful without a doubt. Like, for me, it's like I can go to my daughter's like sports days and I can pick her up from school, take her to school. I can, do you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. Like, it's like I can be part of different things that I typically either wouldn't be able to, or I'd have to give that to like a babysitter and so on and so forth, or maybe only see her just before she's going to bed and stuff like that, yeah. And at the end of the day, yeah, no disrespect to anybody that works. If you work. Like, you need all your fingers and your thumb, yeah. So everybody's path is different, yeah. But I know there's people that are on my Facebook that are entrepreneurial, that are either started or they're thinking about starting, and like, you can do this. Like, you just got to put yourself in. And let me make sure it's clear. This is not easy.
Definitely.
Yeah? It takes work. Like, it takes the right mindset. It definitely takes the right mindset. But like, we've been an hour now, yeah. So we're gonna bounce out. But yeah, this is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be sharing content with you. Can't guarantee it's going to be every single week, but like, we're going to be sharing content with you, and we're going to be letting you know of different stuff that we're doing. We're going to be holding events, holding webinars, and so on and so forth. We're going to go real deep into this, so you guys can get a real deep insight into what it takes to grow and develop a business. All right?
Looking forward to it.
Peace out, people. Take
Bye for
care.
now.
Later. Peace.